You know, we love a little conspiracy theory here on ESPN FC. So we got this question. It's specifically for Craig. And look at Nedum. He cannot wait to get into this. Look at this. Craig, this was one sent by another Craig. Craig, as a commentator for Aguero's iconic goal, the Aguero. What's your take on the conspiracy that QPR stopped playing once safe from relegation? Do you think there was more to it, as Wayne Rooney has recently suggested?
You do know Nedum's involvement in this, don't you?
Yes, which is why we're going to get to Nedum in a bit too. And now referee Mike Dean has kind of backed that up as well, saying that they gave the ball back to City a little too quickly.
Mike Dean's all pie in the sky half the time, even when he was refereeing.
Pie in the sky.
All right, Nedum played in this game. I was at it with Peter Drury doing the commentary. It was, if QPR wanted to hand the title to Man City, they could have done it a lot easier way than they did. I mean, Joey Barton was sent off. They fought and they scored goals, QPR, and then they defended for their lives. The fact that it was as late as it was, the fact that Mancini was on his knees, the fact that fans were in tears, they thought they'd thrown it away. Trust me, there was nothing in that game when I was at it that suggested anything else than this was just as dramatic as it gets. And the reason I think QPR weren't keeping the ball at the end of the game, because they couldn't. They couldn't keep it. So the further they got it from their own goal, the better. Because they were down to 10 men and they were up against a much better side. So I honestly, when I see this sort of nonsense, it sort of winds me up. There was no conspiracies. It was just one of the great stories of modern football. Simple as that.
Stevie?
Well, does it surprise you that Wayne Rooney was part of the Man United team that lost on that day? So surprise, surprise, he'll look for anything. I'm with Craig, absolute garbage. I mean, we're forgetting Dzeko had to score as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's complete and utter nonsense. And it's only because it's Wayne Rooney that said it, that it's carried some sort of weight. Nonsense.
Nedum, you, of course, were very much there. Why did you guys, as QPR, throw the game for City?
Yeah, it's because we all hate Man United. That's the only way that United could end up not winning the title, isn't it?
That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah, anyway. Alexis, honestly, as the guys have said, like, Wayne Rooney said this, and he might believe this, but I think it's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard. And I think what Mike Dean's done is so irresponsible to even suggest that any of that stuff could potentially be true, because he was there as part of the game. So let me just put forward a few things, okay? So us as QPR, I think we had the second or third worst away record in the division. Man City had the best home record in the division. So to start with, some people are confused as to why Man City were able to beat QPR in a game of football coming the end of the season. That's strange. I think when some people said, like Mike Dean, for example, in the clip that's come out, he's saying to his fourth official, oh, it's really strange, QPR have kicked the ball back to Man City. Can I just put into some context here? As Craig was saying, we're fighting for our lives. I looked at the stats recently. We had 18% possession in the whole game. So basically for 90 minutes, all we did was give Man City the ball because we were not good enough or capable enough to do anything else with it. So now you add in the context again, it's the 93rd minute of the game. We've just conceded. We are reeling now. We are so desperate. That kickoff was happening. I didn't even look at the person taking the centre because I did not want the ball. The person next to me did not want the ball. The person next to him did not want the ball. We just wanted this game to finish because we were desperate to stay up. And at that time at 2-2, that's what was going to happen. And again, to talk about Mike Dean in the context, which isn't putting in here, after the ball gets kicked long, Man City do not score from that ball. If we would have had the kickoff and kicked it into the corner for a throw-in, I tell you what, we would not have gone to try and press City in the corner. We were hanging on for dear life, as Craig has said. So I think for him to come out and insinuate that this is strange, why they behave in this manner, and for Rooney and say some of the people out there to believe that there's some sort of nefarious activity, ultimately it is ridiculous because all you need to do is watch what happens when that goal goes in for Man City and you see QPR players laying on the floor, because for as much as City thought that they just won the league with the last minute goal, us at QPR, we thought we'd just been relegated with a goal in the last minute in the last game of the season. Talk about contrasting emotions, contrasting feelings. But instead, as time's passed, people believe, oh, the goal went in. And then Cisse goes and runs up to Nasri. This person's doing this. Everyone's celebrating. Everything's fantastic. Honestly, when that goal went in from Aguero, I could not have felt any lower because I thought, that's it. We have completely blown it. So I think in some ways, I consider it somewhat of a disgrace to, well, Wayne Rooney can have his opinion. It's a ridiculous one. But I think for Mike Dean to say that, I genuinely think, I don't usually say stuff like this, but I think it's a disgrace. And I think for him to sort of fan those flames, to make things even worse, to think that there's any level of conspiracy is absolutely ridiculous. That ends up going down as one of the most significant games in Premier League history. But that was because of the storylines and everything that happened as quickly as it did. And I think for City, it's a miracle for them. And for us at QPR in the end, we got away with it. But it wasn't because we decided, oh, I'll tell you what, let City win so that United don't win the title. I think it's very, very misguided.
Would Wayne Rooney or anybody else on this conveyor belt of magic mushrooms, it seems, would anybody else be saying this if City had beaten QPR by 3 or 4 goals? Because when we rolled up to the game to do the commentary, that's what we expected.
Yeah.
Nedum touched on it. QPR's away form, City's home form, the difference in the teams. We expected this game to be done and dusted by the hour mark. It wasn't. In fact, City were chasing, they were behind for the bulk of it. And the fact that it was so dramatic has just opened this sort of can of worms to this nonsense. And it was nonsense. Because I saw the QPR players, and I saw what they... The fact that they held this City side out with 10 men for as long as they did was a minor miracle.
Did you see Nedum struggling?
No, to be fair, no. I'll probably give him a bit of stick, I'd imagine. But yeah, listen, I don't think we should ever, maybe a few people online believe this kind of nonsense, but I think most decent folk with common sense know this is what it is. It was an amazing moment. Topped off by a guy who was a legend at City and in the Premier League, Sergio Aguero. And it was just one of those great moments. And yes, City and United were at Sunderland, and their game had finished, and they were waiting, and they thought they'd won it. But guess what? It's not over till it's over. And that was, certainly for me, just being there with Peter Drury was just an amazing... Mancini, and Nedum will tell you this, Mancini, I looked down from we were right on the commentary gantry way up the top. I mean, we were right up in the heavens. And I'm looking down, and Mancini was on his knees, right, with his head in his hands. It was gone. Yeah. It was gone. And the camera was cutting to the City fans, and they were in tears. And then, bang, couple of goals, and however many times, and it changed. And that's just football. There was nothing that QPR could have done to stop it. Simple as that.
All right.
Have we put that to bed?
We put that to bed. We put that to bed.